Good afternoon. Well, it's a cool, grey, and cloudy day. It is Wednesday, the 25th of September, and I'm in the reading a nice cup of tea and package to unbox. So, knife. Nicely. And what I've got in here is this the guide to Larry Niven's Ringworld by Stein, a comprehensive guide to one of science fiction's most exciting creative universes, complete with dozens of illustrations. So, Ringworld the Guide, one solar system, 3 million Earths. You're about to encounter the largest artifact in all known space and very possibly in the universe itself. How large is it? Pretend that the Earth, as it orbits the Earth, leaves a track 1 million miles wide. Somewhere stationary, the result will be a ring around the Sun, a ring world with a surface area of 3 million Earths. Such a world exists. It was built millions of years ago by an unimaginably powerful race who then seeded it with species from all over the galaxy and disappeared. Think of it, a land area, 3 million Earths populated with all of the incredible races of Larry Niven's known space. A lot can happen in a place like that. You're going to need a guide. Well, okay, so this is actually my second copy of this. I've got a hardback somewhere in a box. But I picked this up because I wanted to look at it again, and because I have recently not only read Ringworld for the Grognard Files book club, but also I, thanks to my friend Lee, uh, borrowed and reviewed a copy of the Ringworld role-playing game, which came out 40 years ago in 1984. And I was pointed to this, reminded of this, and I wanted to have a look at it again. So this came out about a decade after the Ringworld role-playing game, published by Baen. Would have been in the early 90s. Let's have a look. 1994, 10 years after. So you've got the credits, and then a forward by Larry Niven. Contents. And an introduction to Ringworlds. Whether that should actually say an introduction to Ringworld is another matter. But who knows? Anyway, so now we're into a history of known space. Known space is an area like, I think it's like 60 light years across, which essentially is occupied by the United Nations government, which controls and governs not just planet Earth, but all of the colonies. So we've got a history of the period, which will lead up to the 29th century when the events of Ringworld take place. It's covering things like the magazine Wars. They have their own series of anthologies. Notes on the Puppeteers, and then we're up into the 29th century. And we have a timeline as well. And there's a map of known space, not something that was actually included in the role-playing game, and I don't think there's one in the companion either. And this gives you a location of Ringworld. And then we have a list and descriptions of the different worlds of known space that are settled. Much of this will be very similar to the role-playing game, if not exactly the same in some cases. Certainly when it comes to the Gazin, I suspect. Then we move on to major races of known space. So we start off with the Flint ancient race. We've got basically quick description. They're involved in the Slave War and so on. And then we do have an image actually. Followed by a section of the Nook pin. And we have a nut tip. And then pack that which are the race which originally built the Ringworld, seeded it, and so on. Tree of Life, which plays a major role in pack development and the story. Notes there on the pack and their involvement with Earth and of Ringworld. And there we have one of the packed puppeteers. And we actually see a puppeteer in action delivering its defense mechanism, which is essentially to stop and lash out with its third hind leg to deliver essentially a knockout or a killing punch. And you can see essentially with the puppeteer, 3 legs, kind of a chicken middle body, and then he's got the 2 heads, each with a snake-like head and a single eye. And you can see that better there. And then image of an insane puppeteer displaying sane behavior. Because puppeteers are famously extreme cowards. Here's the image of the fleet of worlds. They are such cowards that rather than build for survival in the face of an oncoming galactic disaster, they've decided to flee the galaxy and take all their homeworlds with them. They're an incredibly advanced race. And we have the Gazinti, it's actually the cat-like species, incredibly aggressive. And we have encounter between 2 vessels, one Earth, one Gazin. Resuming. There we go, I've got a Gazinti warrior. I said they're an interesting species, sort of in terms of science fiction, archetypal cat warriors that via Star Trek the Animated Series found their way into the Star Trek universe, and then from there into gaming in the Starfleet Battles universe, and because that wasn't seen as being Star Trek canon, it was kept out, but would have crept in the proposed or planned season 5 of Star Trek Enterprise, and have appeared or been mentioned at least in later series of Star Trek, more recent ones. We have a section on alien races of known space. We've not really got to the Ringworld yet with this. So this has got sections on the Bandersnatch, Dolphins, Grogs, Kadatlino, Outsiders, and Trinok. And basically, I mean, you can see fairly broad sections of text. And then with the illustrations there, we have the Bandersnatch, Dolphins, grogs, and pleasingly, a grog telepathically instructs the illustrator and the Collectido outsider, essentially primarily traders between systems, and Trinoc. And then we move on to the landscape of the Ringworld. So here we have Spill Mountains and Ringwall section. So literally we have a cross section of the Ringworld. Sections on ecology, the great oceans. And then we've got a picture of the great oval ocean. And you can see sort of a fantastic image. I mean, the Ringworld, the other thing is notable for being one of the first big dumb objects in science fiction, but a fascinating one. And here we have fly cycles enter an ice storm, and this is like one of the scenes in the book Ringworld where the expedition enters sort of like the storm over the god around the God Mountain. Again, another shot of the wall. Spill Mountains. Move on to the spacecraft landing system, summarized at the end of the novel Ringworld. The ring systems essentially for slowing vehicles down and landing them, speeding them up. And we have races of the Ringworld. Including obviously the city builder empire. And we have a floating city there. We have a city builder. And remnants of the one great city builder empire following the collapse, literally the buildings falling from the sky, ghouls, scavengers, grass, giant planting sunflower seeds, which essentially gather energy and just zap others, hanging people. Healer, herders, and machine people. Mud people, and sea people, vampires, ever alluring but deadly. Then psionics in known space, covering telepathy, telekinesis, and so on, far sensing, and then equipment. So things like a Sinclair monofilament chain there. One of the things that the major weapons is this sort of like this monofilament sword. A mini dock several times during the stories that they do need access to. And they've got a variable knife and a flashlight laser and a variable sword. Those are the monofilament weapons. And other weapons. And that's it. We do have a glossary at the end. So there's nothing on spaceships, sadly. Let's just see if there's anything on. There is a note there on general products hold, but no further details. And then that's it. That is the guide to Larry Niven's Ringworld. If you have a copy of the Ringworld role playing game, this is probably a very good accompaniment. If you're a fan of the books, of course, you want to have a copy of this as well for reference and ease up, you know. But otherwise, interesting. I think Wandering basically, you could probably delve into this setting and develop more content in terms of background and source material if you wanted to. But that's by the by. Whether there'll be another role playing game, I doubt it. But if you do find a copy, it's worth looking at. But in the meantime, this is an interesting guide to the setting itself without all of those mechanical gubbins that you get with the role playing game. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a package containing a book or game, or in this case, a guide to a science fiction setting, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all, of course, accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.